we got a question here. Facebook and Amazon earnings look rock solid. Obviously, Amazon put out numbers yesterday. Should we consider covering broader market shorts here like the XRT and wait 3 months?
We're through earnings season. Facebook and Amazon win. Google, Netflix, Microsoft go down the list of the losers. You see them all. They're winners and losers. Where do we go from here if Amazon can't go higher from here? What if oil, Amazon, and Facebook can't go higher from here? Well, the Nasdaq's going to keep going down. I mean, and the market's going to start to go down faster. In a week like this with Amazon, and think about that, Amazon and Facebook doing what they did, the market's down this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'd throw VF in there in that bucket too, just to support kind of the XRT. They're the bellwether pretty much of any global brand company with exposure across markets. Top end, low end in the U.S. Earnings were flat, or sales were flat. Earnings were down 15%. Now it's better than consensus. But if you look at VF as kind of the bellwether for the U.S. Global apparel brands, then that's kind of a bad omen for everybody else.
Is VF Corp, is that indicated down this morning? I didn't look.
I haven't looked either. Been preparing for the good old macro show, but they just got off the call. So,
but that's an interesting one, Alec. I mean, I think that this again, and hopefully, the macro. If those of you that are trying to use what we do to help augment your process, and if you're not by training a macro person, I wasn't. I had to teach it to myself. We all have to teach ourselves how to walk too. I mean, the reality is that when I get to talk to our sector heads, it's interesting, but maybe never surprising, that the macro themes find their way into the sector. So, Alec, if you look at something like VF Corp, which to your point has been a bellwether and it's a very widely owned name for a long time, it's done a great job in the U.S. retail, global retail space for that matter. That stock, if somebody who only does macro had to guess where VF Corp put in its all-time high, what month of what year would they pick? What month would you pick of anything if you were to be told by this company, this humble company called Hedgeye, that the U.S. economy was peaking, again, cyclically peaking at an all-time high, what month would you pick? Well, you'd pick July. July. You could have bought all the VF Corp in the world at $76. I don't care if it's up or down today, Alec. It's at 62 at the close yesterday.
Yeah, it's flat today.
Yeah, so look, I mean, this is the point. People have been losing lots of money in places that the good companies, and in the broad indices. I mean, the Nasdaq's down 8% since July. I mean, again, if you're only long the Nasdaq since July, you got to be up over 9% just to get back to break even. This is the point. A lot of pain is out there. And while it is interesting and humbling and exciting and everything that we feel as human beings to try to get me to feel like we did people a disservice by not buying a V-bottom off a crashed out low in February, you still got to go back to what's actually been happening here since we've been the only firm to make the economic call in July. I mean, the VF Corps of the world have gone from 76 to 62. That's a fact.